Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bree, and today I'm talking about checkers versus chess. And checkers is one of the most primitive and fairly old board games that people play, and it's also one of the earliest board games that children learn how to play. Chess is kind of a more complex version of checkers insofar as it has pieces that are similar in some way to the checkers. Similar type of movement to checkers a little bit, and it's played on a checkerboard or chessboard. Which we even use the term checkerboard to apply to any gridded pattern with alternating colors of, squares in the grid. Checkers is usually red and black. Chess can usually be white and black, or gray and black, or red and black, or whatever. It's usually black and not black. Is usually how chess is done. And so, yeah, when I was a little kid, little bitty mini me, ages ago, I remember playing checkers, with my dad and my sisters and, my aunts and uncles. And it was just like it's like, board game 101. Basically, it's preschool, it's board game for preschool kids. It's basically baby's first board game. Yeah, we had Chutes and Ladders and Tiddlywinks and Trouble and some other, Sorry, and some other like little kid-friendly board games. But checkers is like your standard kid-friendly basic board game. Not complicated rules, easy to learn the moves, easy to be able to tell who's the winner, who's the loser. Not a lot of fighting and arguing because there's not really a lot of options. And so, it's a pretty base game. But then you get into chess. Now, I did not learn how to play chess until I was a teenager. Sometime between 13 and 14 in that ballpark. I've told pieces of this story in other videos, but I'll just give you the bullet points, the Cliff's Notes, if you will. I joined the chess club when I was in middle school, 7th and 8th grade, or junior high, I guess. Would it have been junior high or middle school? Anyways, when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I joined the chess club. Because I didn't have any friends, I was kind of a nerd, I was getting kind of tired of getting beat up all the time, and I was often in, in-school suspension or other similar types of, attitude adjustment type programs. So the chess nerds hung out in the library where they felt safe, and that was where I was put for Saturday school. So that's when I learned how to play chess. And I say learned how to play chess in air quotes. That was where my friends demonstrated to me how chess is played, and I never really picked up on it. Chess is beyond my comprehension. Too hard of a game. I have dabbled in, I had a Star Wars chess set years ago. It came with a wooden board, and it was, I think it was prequel pieces, because it had, like, Count Dooku, and it had, like, General Grievous and Queen Amidala and some of those. So it was interesting. I tried some of the virtual chess games, the ones that came with Windows throughout the various years. Speaking of Star Wars, I never did try Star Wars chess on the Sega CD. But I never really had any motivation to, because that game looked like ass. And at the time, I wasn't into chess. Star Wars was kind of fading in popularity, and I did not have the money for a Sega CD. So, yeah, that game just skipped me by. Passed me by? Whatever. Over the years, I would forget how to play checkers, because I outgrew it, and I never went back to play it, and I didn't have anyone to play with, because it's a kid's game, essentially, and so it's a game you would traditionally play with kids or as a kid. And since I don't have any kids, and my sister's kids, for whatever reason I don't want to get into, weren't allowed to play board games. And I know it's look, she's a flat earther. That's all I have to say, okay? So her kids weren't allowed to play with toys either. Let's just not go into it. But I wasn't allowed to play chess or checkers with these kids for the longest fucking time. And so I didn't have anyone to play checkers with. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I forgot how to play. If you sat me down with a checkerboard and said, let's play a game of checkers, I'd have to sit and look at the board for a few minutes and just kind of see how much of it comes back to me. Because if I sat down right now and tried to describe how checkers is played, I couldn't do it. You got little plastic coins that I guess are checkers, and they bounce around the board somehow, and then, I don't know, you win the game by something or other. I don't remember. It's been that long since I played checkers. I was probably 6, maybe 7 years old the last time I played checkers. It was not my go-to board game as a kid. You know? But chess, on the other hand, while I never really picked up on it, and I never really got all that into it, I still kind of sort of used it as the basis of my learning how to play miniature war games. Warhammer 40K, Dungeons and Dragons miniatures, Chainmail, the Star Wars miniatures game. I can't remember what it was called, Rebels or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, Rebels or Infantry or something like that. And stuff like that. So I would use chess kind of in my brain as a reference on, pieces on a board and two armies, and they move in specific ways, and then there's kind of sort of ways to capture or kill your opponent, which would be simulated as combat in a miniature war game comparable to chess. Okay, so that's the extent of my experience with chess and or checkers. I'm going to be honest with you. I think checkers is a stupid game, and if you want to get your kids into board games, you can start them off with checkers if you're just, teaching them like the base mechanics of how a board game works, setting up the pieces, moving, taking turns, and meeting the objective. But there's better kids games out there. Checkers is, let's as a society, as a species, human beings, let's let checkers die. Can we? Chess, on the other hand, like uber geeks and kids that are actually good at math. And wannabe jocks that are too dorky to be actual jocks, and they're not athletic at all, but they want to pretend to be jocks, so they play chess. Need chess for something to do because they're not good enough at poker, or they ain't got the money for poker or whatever, so they play chess. Otherwise, I would say let's let chess die as well. I know chess is like an ancient game and it's not going anywhere, but for the love of fucking God, can we stop playing checkers? God damn. Please, don't buy your kids checkers. I'm begging you. For the love of God.